Forget about the election. The big story was at the MCG where Jack Crisp had a fairy tale opportunity in a game where he broke Jim Stein's long-standing games record. But Kate, he missed and Geelong ended Collingwood's 6-game winning streak in a thriller.
Well, whoever wrote the script got it completely right up until that last kick. You love the teammates getting around him, but it was purely a fairy tale moment that nearly played out, breaking the record of Jim Stein's, which I don't think we'll ever see again. 245 games consecutive, which he can still put games on top of that now. But unfortunately for Jack Crisp, it wasn't to be. But this is how we got there in the fourth quarter. These are some of the huge moments that we saw play out. Early in the fourth, there was a moment that Darcy Moore would want back, obviously, and that was very similar to the goal in the prelim final that Ollie Henry kicked to put the Cats back in front last year. And then this, we'll talk about a few other changes that were made, but Ollie Dempsey being thrown forward, played most of the game on the wing, and this man, Patrick Dangerfield. You feel like the bigger the moment, the bigger this guy tends to play. 13 disposals, 10 contested possessions, 5 score involvements, 8 ground ball gets to Collingwood's 10, and a goal, and that was only in the fourth quarter alone. Patrick Dangerfield made this game his own. A little bit of a contentious decision here. This was referred to the score review, but said that there was inconclusive evidence, so it was the umpire's call at the end of the game. So big mark from Brodie Myercheck too to go back and finish, but ultimately Geelong were better in the fourth term than Collingwood, and they just left themselves a little bit too much work to do late in the game, Collingwood.
Mark Blitzcarves did speak post-game. He said he touched it to Fox Footy. Now, what changed at three-quarter time? Because Geelong kicked the first 4 goals of the last quarter. They had all the momentum before Collingwood came late, but what did Chris Scott do?
Yeah, well, they did this. They worked up the ball more. So a kick-mark game, which first of all kept the ball in their hands. Second of all, got them a deeper entry rather than kicking it long to a pack. And that meant that if they did turn the ball over Collingwood, they had to go through basically all of the defenders from Geelong to be able to chain the ball from D50 to inside 50. And those numbers alone, D50 to inside 50, the first quarter to the third quarter, 38% of the defensive 50 chains from Collingwood ended up inside forward 50 in the first 3 quarters. Then we go to third quarter. They had no chains from D50 to inside 50. So yes, it worked for them to attack Geelong, but it also helped them set up defensively. So for me, that was a masterstroke from Chris Scott. First of all, moving Ollie Dempsey into the forward line, but they're changing game style to take away Collingwood's slingshot rebounding defence into their offence was a huge tick for me.
You pointed out Patrick Dangerfield then at 35, still doing it. How about Bailey Smith? This guy's clearly one of the recruits of the year after round 8, but tonight, once again, it was his Ben Cousins, Shane Crawford-esque running power that stood out on the wide expanses of the MCG.
It was. There were moments in the game where you sort of thought, wow, he's getting the ball way too deep in defence, but that was purely because of his gut running. He was working all the way back. He was being that release kick at times from a kick out and then working all the way forward. 749 metres gained. Yes, at times I think he could still use the ball better, but he's in the team to work goal square to goal square, and that's what he did all evening. Kicked a goal of his own, and he was a standout for me for the Cats.